Okay, so this is how I think the deck is going to be built. Now, my two possible commanders, because what you got to remember is it is a precon, right? The precon is all 5 colors. So unfortunately, all mono-colored creatures will not count. All the mono black, mono green, mono white, mono blue, and mono red. Even Rocksteady and Bebop, Bebop is a mono green, and then Rocksteady is a mono, my bad, he's a mono black and he's a mono green. Together they're partnered. Even then you can only have a black and green deck. So unfortunately, because this is a precon and you are given all 5 colors, you are very limited to only 2 commanders. So all of these legendary creatures will not work. They will work though is if you decide to buy the precon and you're looking to pull it apart, looking to grab some cards and build your own deck out of all the cards. And let me tell you, you do have a good variety of good cards that you can choose as your commander and build a deck out of. Like Krang is amazing. Steady and Bebop work pretty well together, except you'll be losing a lot of health fast, so you gotta figure out how to gain health. So yeah, I guess unfortunately, because this is all 5 colors, you're limited down to 2 commanders. Now the 2 commanders that you're able to use is not your mono red Raph, your mono red Splinter, your mono blue Donatello, or your mono green Mikey. You are down to 2 commanders here. Now, in the previous video, I said I was going to do Heroes in a Half Shell most likely as my first commander, because with these turtles, they all have that ability called Partner. What I didn't realize is that Heroes in a Half Shell does not have Partner. However, Heroes in a Half Shell will still carry the deck because it has Vigilance, Menace, Trample, and Haste, 5/5 for a 5 cost, right? And whenever one or more mutants, ninjas, and or turtles you control deal combat damage to a player, you get put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures, and then you get to draw a card. Really, really good, especially if you love drawing cards. You're able to go through your deck faster, find better cards that you're able to use than someone who's not drawing cards. So it's a very, very good commander. But then here, you have Leonardo, which when I forgot he's all colors because I forgot about his ability. So I'm like, oh, the only commander I'm able to use is this one. That's not true, because Leonardo is mono white. Easier to cast. He is a 4 cost, gotta remember that. This is a 5 cost, all colors. Leonardo is a 4 cost, 1 white. Leonardo, his ability is whenever a token you control enters, you may put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Do this only once each turn. And that each turn, that means my turn, your opponent's turns as well. So if you have 3 opponents, this can happen 4 times in one round. Your turn, opponent, 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 and it'll get back to you. You have a possibility of doing it 4 times in like one go around. But then this is what makes him all color. Also, I read the pamphlet too. Apparently he is supposed to be the commander. Where did I see that? Oh, here we go. Leonardo leads as your commander. So he is technically supposed to be your commander. So this is your backup commander. Tap Wooburg, creature you control gain Menace, Trample, Lifelink until end of turn. So that's a pretty good Wooburg. Now, when I was thinking about it, I was colliding. I'm like, okay, which one's better? Do I go with 2 possible commanders or 1 commander, right? So the way I was looking at this is you get +1/+1 counters for each of those that deals combat damage to a player, and you get to draw a card. Really good. But the question is, are you going to be able to deal combat damage to a player? Is there cards in here that allow you to bypass to get to your opponent? Yes, there is. Not many, but there is cards that allow you to get through. Plus this has Trample. I didn't see many cards in here that gave your creatures Trample, but I did see that. So he's okay. He's still pretty good, but he's okay. I really love the card draw, so my heart's still stuck on him. However, when I look at Leonardo, you get +1/+1 on each creature you control whenever a token I control enters. Now, you can do many things with Leonardo. You can pair him with Donnie, If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus a mutagen token are created. So if you create 2 Foot Ninja tokens, you get 2+1/+1 creatures on each, or 2+1/+1 counters on each creature, plus another +1/+1 because you also create a mutagen token. Now, if you think about it, mutagens are okay because as your deck is already being buffed, what mutagen does is you tap 1 and sacrifices to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So in my opinion, if your creatures are being buffed by Leonardo already, mutagen, in my opinion, isn't really that good. Especially if you have to pay mana. I would rather play a creature and pay my mana to play a creature than pay 1 mana to do a +1/+1 on only one singular target creature. I would rather just stick with Leonardo and pass up Donatello. He is a good commander because he does allow you to do basically one +1/+1 counter on any creature. Now, Donnie mixed with Raphael is pretty good. This was a possible thought. You double all damage that creatures you control with counters on them would deal. Now that's amazing because what does Leonardo do? Whenever a token enters, you add a +1/+1 counter on each creature. So they pair really well together, really well. Whenever Raphael enters, create a mutagen token. Again, this mutagen token, it's good, but honestly, it's pretty mediocre because you can only select 1 creature and you got to pay 1 mana for it. I'll put it up there. So Raphael was definitely a possible. Now, Heroes in a Half Shell is still a possible as well because my heart is stuck on drawing cards. I love drawing cards. It's so much fun. And then you got Michelangelo. He has Trample, which is... Never mind. He doesn't work. Wait. Hold up. Yeah, he doesn't work with Leonardo that well. You can pair other turtles up together, but unfortunately, you can't do like Michelangelo or Splinter because, again, you're stuck with that mono... Or you're stuck with the green-black, and it's an all-colored deck. So you have to have one of these 2 cards as one of your commanders. So what Michelangelo does is he has Raid at the beginning of your second main phase. If you attack this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and create a food token. Honestly, that isn't that good in my opinion because, again, you can only select target creature and creating a food token is pretty good though. Yeah, so I would count out Michelangelo only because you can only select 1. I like the abilities where all of them are selected. Now let's see, Splinter. Menace, really good. Whenever Splinter or another non-token creature you control leaves the battlefield, creating a mutagen token. That's okay. I mean, I think he's honestly worse than Michelangelo here because, again, it has to do with mutagen tokens. So I'm gonna play him to the side. I like the whole mutagen idea, but if I have an ability from Leonardo where I can do +1/+1 creatures on all my creatures, whereas mutagen is just a target creature, I'm gonna stick with Leonardo. So now we're down to our 2 possible commanders here. We got Heroes in a Half Shell, Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Haste. Whenever 1 or more mutants, ninjas, and or turtles you control deal combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures and draw a card. Again, the only thing that I see that's wrong with this commander is how are you going to deal combat damage, especially if you are playing a 1v1v1v1. If you're playing 1v1, this could be good, but if you're playing a 1v1v1v1, you got to be a little bit more reserved. And that's what I mainly play because I play... Oh, actually, my bad. I play 2v2v2 most of the time. So I still play reserve though because, you know, if I attack an opponent, I'm left open to be attacked. So sometimes I don't attack, sometimes my attacks won't get through. And like I said, there are cards in here that allow you to give your creatures trample or to go through an enemy or unblockable or stuff like that, but you only have select few cards. You have like, let's say there's 6 in there. You have a 6 in 100 or a 6 in a 99 chance of pulling those cards. So you're not guaranteed to even pull those. Pretty good card though. But our other options are Leonardo and Raphael. Now again, Leonardo, +1/+1 counter whenever a token enters. And you can work Wooburg for Menace, Trample, and Lifelink on what was it? All creatures. So you can get up in life pretty fast. And then Raphael, double damage. So out of these two, unfortunately, I'm going to have to pick these two. Or out of these three, I'm going to have to pick these two. Heroes in a Half Shell is going to have to go up there. Only because, and I will tell you why, these two are a very goated combo. Very goated. Not only does Raphael work with his first ability, which is +1/+1 counters. Anyone that has a +1/+1 counter gets double damage. So if our entire board is full of +1/+1 counters because of tokens that enter, which by the way, there are a lot of cards in this deck that allow you to do tokens. And if you look, all of these have mutagen tokens as well. So just with these cards that are laid out right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everyone would get +5/+5 because the mutagen tokens that are being placed. But what really made me say yes to Leonardo and Raphael is the Wooburg on here. Creatures you control gain Menace, Lifelink, and Trample till end of turn. Raphael, his is double all damage that creatures you control with counters on them would deal. Lifelink plus double damage. That is an insane combo. If we have a bunch of foot soldier tokens on the board and they all get double damage and I attack, even if I am left open to be attacked, I think I will still survive because we can get 20 life in one turn. If we have 10 1/1 creatures, we can get 20 life in one turn. That right there is an insane combo. So out of the pre-con, I think the best commander that you are able to build to put the deck around will be Leonardo, 4-color white, with Raphael, 5-color red. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. If you want to try and go for Heroes in a Half Shell, be my guest. I wouldn't choose any of these other cards though to partner with Leo because again they're not that good. They're pretty simple with how they work. You know, Michelangelo is create a mutagen token for every time you attack or something like that. That's okay. That's okay. It doesn't really work well with Leo though. But this is pretty good, especially if you're able to pull it out of this deck and build your own deck around it. I think this could be a really, really, really good card. So yeah, anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and make sure to subscribe. If you want to watch the next video, which is going to be right here, this next video I'm going to be battling with this deck. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I can't wait to see how Leonardo and Raphael do. And again, if you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button right there. But wait, don't leave yet. Join the Discord, linked down in the description below. There will soon be a giveaway. Like I said, this is a brand new channel. I think this is going to be like the second video up. So again, if you want to join in any like giveaways like that, make sure to join the Discord, which will be linked down in the description below. Anyways, guys, see you. Deuces, peace.